as we created the files and directories, we actually created them as empty files. Now, when you use touch, we say that you can create an empty file. But now, if we want to put content in a file, or edit a file, or even create an empty file, we can use an editor, a built-in editor in your Ubuntu on your Linux system, an editor called Nano. So Nano is a simple text editor that you can access from your terminal. So if I do Nano, Nano, and I say I want to create a list.txt file using Nano, it is going to open for me this particular editor. Okay, right? It's opening for me an editor. I want to edit a file called list.txt. Now, if I just save it without content, then I'll just be creating an empty file. So this is the fourth way that I mentioned that you can create an empty file. You can create an empty file using an editor. So a built-in editor that we have that will be very useful to you guys is Nano. So once we have that, once Nano opens, you can just start typing. You can add content. Then once you've added content in it, you need to save it. Saving in Nano, you do what we call a write out. You need to do a write out. So for write out, to save the content, you are going to do a Control-O. On your keyboard, use Control-O. Once you do Control-O, it is going to bring for you the file name. If you want to keep this as a file name, you are being prompted. If I wanted to save the file as it is, then I'll just click Enter. Then this file will just be saved as list.txt. But if I want to change the name, this prompt here, it is prompting me that I can change this file. I can change it as list1, right? List1.txt. So I'm changing the name of the file. So I'm being prompted. Once you do that, then Enter. Then you are saying you are saving as a different name, right? Different name, yes. Right? Once you click Y, it is yes. But now you've now saved it as a different name, list1. But then after you've finished editing, you need to exit. So you need to exit out of this editor. Exiting, you're going to press Control X. So I press Control X. Control X, it takes me out of the editor. Now, there is a file. If I ls, there is a file called list1. This is the file that I saved, list1.txt. So I can cut this file. I can cut the file. Once I cut the file, I'll see this is the content that I add. Now I can reopen this file. I can reopen this file just using Nano. Maybe I need to add more content to it. So I can use Nano list1 tab. It is going to reopen the file, right? Once it reopens the file, I can say, right? With that, I can save it, Control-O, Enter, Control-X, right? If I cut the file again, then now I see the changes that I just made. So you use Nano as a basic editor that is built in within your terminal. We have other editors like Vim or VI that is a little bit not complicated, but we will come to it. But you have to be in a certain mode, like insert mode, for you to be able to edit. But Nano is good because once you go to Nano, you'll just start typing and just save it. So this is what you'll be using to add content, to edit files, right? If you are creating files in Linux, you can quickly edit those files and basically save the files. Some of the common commands: Control-O, you're saving. Control-X, you can exit. If you want to search the file for specific keywords, you'll use Control-W to search through the file. If you want to replace, then again, you can use Control-L if there are words that you want to replace. So an example, I can nano the list, then I can do Control-W. What am I searching for? I'm searching for test. So once I do test, it is going to, if I have a long file, it is going to search for whatever I'm searching for in here. Now, if I want to replace, I do Control \, right? What do I want to replace? So I want to replace it with tests, right? Replace it with test. So I'm searching for test. I want to replace with, okay, I think I put the wrong tests. Oh, so test is not found. So I can again search. I'm searching for test, and I want to replace it with testing, right? For this instance or all. So I'll again say yes for that particular instance. So in whatever instance I have, it is going to replace it with test. So this is how you can easily search through. If you have a large file and you want to search through Nano and you want to replace some words in it, then after that you can just save it, Control-O, then Control-X, you'll exit out. If I cut the file now, I'll see that the words that were replaced. So play around with Nano.